what have I signed up for and why? No one's making me do this.
I don't.
Nobody.
Alex May Hughes is London's coolest signwriter. After studying typographics at London College of Communication, she started an apprenticeship with acclaimed London signwriter Pete Hardwick with a focus on gold leaf on glass. In the decades since, Alex has established herself as a cultural phenomenon. The West London native has amassed a large and dedicated fan base on social media through her iconic designs and her love of The Simpsons.
Hello, welcome to Ralph and Friends. My name isn't Ralph. This is Alex May Hughes, signwriter extraordinaire. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having us in your studio.
My pleasure.
What do you want to talk about?
Things that aren't signs, maybe?
All right, yeah, go on.
Okay. I just got back from Barcelona where I was hanging out with some friends and trying my hand at making stuff that is not signs, which is what I do in my normal day-to-day when I'm here in my studio. But over there I did a mosaic in like one day with my friend Mark. That was really fun, very different. It was also cool to do something quite like immediate. I like instant gratification. And so to just go, cool, this is what we're going to do, smash up some tiles and then stick them on and then grout it and then it was finished. There's no room to be like, is this good or isn't this good or am I doing this wrong? It was just like, however it happens is how it happens and then that's what it is.
Have you made mosaics before?
No.
Because obviously you are a very good signwriter. You have a certain like level that you have to reach. You have to, like a standard that you have to do when you do your signs. Doing something new, there's really no stakes where you can literally just be like, this is shit, and that's good.
It's really hard to swallow though. You see someone making something and you go like, oh, that looks really fun, I'd like to try that. But then because I've been doing my job for like 11 years and like in the beginning I was shit and then I've slowly got better and then now I'm here. But it's sort of hard to remember that. So then when you go like, oh, I'll go try my hand at something new, when you're not instantly good at that, it's so disheartening. The year before, I was again in Barcelona at my friend's ceramics studio and I was like, oh yeah, great, ceramics, they're cool and trendy. I'll have a go at that. And it was just so hard and I cried every day and it was really humbling. And like, it turns out everybody wants to be like multidisciplinary, but like, no, I don't think anybody wants to be humbled.
Like I used to run when I was young, much younger. And then I've been trying to get back into it. And I tried last year, I was like, I'm going to do 100 runs this year.
What are you running away from?
We do not have the time or the remit to pull that thread. I got to 80, which I think is a reasonable number in a year. But I was so disheartened because I was like, oh, I'm nowhere near as fast as I was. Like, this is so much harder. And then this year, I was like, I'm going to run and I'm going to try and do the same. But I've just stopped looking at how long it's taking me. And there's so much joy now. For me, it really felt like giving yourself permission to be not perfect.
It's hard because like I'm somebody who, like if you set a goal, like I'm going to do this amount of miles or this many runs, it's sort of nice to go, okay, so I plan it out and I'm doing this many runs and I know I need to do these and you kind of see the numbers stacking up and it's a goal to aim for. But then similarly, it kind of sucks the fun out of it and you're like, oh, okay, I have to hit this goal and like actually it's not that enjoyable and maybe like, what have I signed up for and why? And like who, when I'm running and when I'm in the gym and stuff like that, I'm just like, why am I doing this? Like for who?
When you're like mile 5, you're like, God.
No one's making me do this.
I don't.
Nobody.
So obviously lots of what you do is kind of on commission and that's quite a collaborative process. How do you approach that? How do you inject yourself into someone else's vision?
It really depends. Some people have got like a really clear idea of what it is that they want. They might say, okay, we want it to look kind of this like style with these materials and whatever else. And so for me, that's super helpful and I can go away, design that, come back to them. Or maybe someone doesn't have a clear idea of what it is they want and maybe isn't as well versed in how to communicate that. It's really hard to try and like read someone's mind.
Yeah.
Like, I think that you want this, and sometimes it's right and sometimes it's totally wrong. Someone drew something on like Microsoft Paint and sent it to me. And
that's so good.
Am I allowed to move on it?
Yeah.
He wanted a painting of his cat. His cat's name is Pockets. He sent me a sketch that he did and it was just like really funny. And then obviously I didn't make that for him. I made him like a whole thing. It said Pockets. I had a painting of his cat. It was a really beautiful sign. But the drawing was so funny that I also made it, but not for them, just like privately. But then they got in touch and like Pockets is very poorly and about to pass away. So the girlfriend of the guy has got me to make the thing for him for like Father's Day. Hang on.
That escalated really quickly.
It's got a little bit of it missing, but it was like a MS Paint drawing. But that was what he sent me, and then I was just like, yeah, just make that.
I love it so much.
So sometimes it doesn't need any of my input or collaboration, and it's fine.
MS Paint and the dreams. We're sort of like in a boatyard. There's just people making boats, which is wild to me.
Yeah.
Because I just thought they appeared.
Good
I never
porn.
really thought about it. You know, there's no immediate like community in like an artistic community, but you've very much built one.
Doing trades with people is something that is like really wonderful and kind of freeing and nice. So my friend Jenny, who is my hairdresser and she's an amazing singer, she does my hair and I kind of pay her with my signs. Tattoos is a huge one, really, really handy. Swapping signs with them has been a really big one, especially when they've like started families and have kids and stuff like that. And it's just like really nice to kind of rock up and give them something that I've created and made with my hands and is meaningful to them, and then in turn get something in return that is also done by them, and then we both just leave feeling like really happy and like we got a really nice cool thing, and it not being like capitalist money
the
thing.
exchange because it's not just like I'll give you X good for X good. There's also like the effort, the care that goes into it, right? Which sort of...
Also, I'd much rather spend my time making something that I think is cool and beautiful and like relevant to you or personal, and be like, this is for you and it's the only one. This is it. There was a point where my mum was like, no, like for everyone's birthdays, whatever, Mother's Day, you name it, I'm always just like, if you invite me to your wedding, like, you know what I'm giving you. Like I turn up like, there's your present. Like,
you have done 4 solo shows. Talk me through like your experience of them, what you learned, like what the difference between doing a show and doing pockets.
Pockets. So I don't know if he said yet. So he's definitely not going down there.
They went on the...
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, just around.
Okay.
Pocketing.
So it's quite nice doing commission-based work most of the time, because people come to you with an idea and then you work it out and then you make it. Great. Not a lot of brain power required in that sense. But then every couple of years, I've found that I get a bit antsy and I'm a bit like, there's stuff I want to try, or no one's asked me to kind of make this thing. And so I set aside like 3 months, and then I just go through the notes on my phone and just make a bunch of work. Yeah, I've done that 4 times now. The last one was 2023.
Sounds right.
Sounds right.
Yeah. I want to say that I wrote it down on my card, but I didn't.
No one knows.
No, there's actually nothing on here.
No. That was really good, and made a bunch of stuff and made some ceramic things and made prints for the first time that were amazing, screen prints with gold leaf on and stuff. It's a lot. It's loads of work, but also really fun. I think it'd be really cool to do a themed show.
What would it be?
I don't know.
It would be Simpsons.
That probably would be really, really popular, to be honest.
Yeah.
I never really put Simpsons stuff in my exhibitions.
I was just trying to segue to my next question.
Let's talk about the Simpsons.
I was really trying to do it gracefully and I fucked it real bad. Yeah. You're very well known for lots of your art. The Simpsons one, do lots on socials. Loads of people love them. You obviously have them here. In a 2016 interview, this makes me sound like a creep, but it's just that I'm well researched. You were asked about it and you said that Bart and Lisa were your oldest friends. And I just sat in the office and wept, and I have no idea why. I think that's more on me. We think about consumption of culture so much, just constantly, whether it's good, it's bad, like who's consuming it, why they're consuming it. But we very rarely talk about culture as a comfort, and we never talk about it as this sort of friend almost.
It's really interesting. I think maybe not a lot of people do reflect on like the comfort that they get from things that might be even like really small and silly and like insignificant. It's that thing of like if you're sitting around the pub and someone says like, remember Street Sharks? And everyone's like, oh yeah, wow. Like just this small thing that like you completely forgot about because it's like a lifetime ago. But with the Simpsons thing, I think absolutely the nostalgia of it, particularly with people like of our age, because like I am the same age as the Simpsons, so it was always there growing up. And like as a kid, you're just a sponge and you're just like everything that you see. And so if you're sitting like this far away from the TV watching this show and you're just like, this is amazing. Like it doesn't matter how many times I watch them, they're still entertaining or precious or familiar.
There's something in like being able to track yourself through culture, being able to sort of watch an episode now that the 16-year-old version of yourself watched and the 8-year-old version of yourself watched, and sort of seeing the progression of you as a person, as an entity, as an artist, as whatever it is through that. There's something so like special about that. I've run out of questions. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want to dig down into?
No, unless we're going to do that, how salmon's different from trout.
I can't, no, because then we'll have to talk about peppers again, and I can't because I hate them.
Okay.
They're liars.
Okay.
Too many people have lied to me in my lives, peppers being one of them.
Number one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my father. Goodbye.